If a person stays for a period of 180 days or more during previous year, that is 2023-24. What is the condition? I should be 2 years resident out of 10 years, but I'm here for 9 years resident. So I've satisfied my second additional condition also. If I satisfy one basic condition and one additional condition, automatically my status will be resident, not ordinarily resident. Warm welcome to 5th Sem BACHELOR. The subject we're discussing Income Tax 1, Unit 2, Residential Status and Incidence of Tax. I'm Professor Rajesh L.R. from Department of Commerce and Management from Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In our previous session, we solved and we determined the residential status of a person, and we came to know that one, how to determine a residential status of a person with certain basic concepts. So every person, he has to satisfy any one of the basic condition to become a resident. When any person doesn't satisfy both the basic condition, then he will be called as non-resident for previous year. Only for Income Tax Act purpose, he'll be called as a non-resident or resident. If he is a resident, whether he is an ordinarily resident, not ordinarily resident, we have to determine. Now, in today's session, we are going to discuss about certain problems where we are going to determine residential, whether he is a ordinarily resident or not ordinarily resident. In today's session, we are going to consider and determine the concepts of basic condition as well as additional condition. I'm Mr. Bhuvan. I left India for the first time in the year 10th April 2020. When I left India for the first time, 10th April 2020. Means up to 9th April 2020, I was in India since from my birth. And I returned back to India on 10th March 2021. Again, I left India on 26th June 2023, returned back on 10th January 2024. Thereafterwards, I was in India only. Now, what is my name? Mr. Bhuvan. When I left India for the first time, 10th April 2020. When I returned back to India, 10th March 2021. During previous year 2023-24, I left India on 26th June 2023 and I returned back 10th January 2024. When I returned back 10th January 2024. So now, during previous year, how many days I was in India? We have to determine that one. And if I satisfy the basic condition, then we'll go for further additional conditions. Now, what is the condition we have? Basic condition, first one. If a person stays for a period of 180 days or more during previous year, that is 2023-24. 23-24 year. I left India on, when I left India, 26th June 2023. When I returned back, 10th January 2024. So, 26th I'm leaving means in the month of April I was in India. In the month of May I was in India. In the month of June 25 days I was in India. From 26th I was not in India. July I was not in India. August, September, October, November, December. I returned back on 10th January including 10th. So I was in India for 22 days and 29 days leap year, and next we have 31. So totally 30, 60, 80, 100, 120, 150, 160, 162, 167, 168 days. So I was in India for 168 days during previous year. 30, 60, 80, 86, 88, 98, 118, 138, 168. So I was totally for a period of 168 days. What is my condition we have here? I should be in India for a period of 182 days or more. But I've stayed only for 168 days, so I couldn't satisfy my first basic condition. Whether I'm going to satisfy my second basic condition or not. Let us check that one. Now, what is my second basic condition? Here we have two things. One, first part is I should be there for 60 days during previous year, and we have here and 365 days in 4 preceding previous year. So means in 2023-24 I should be 60 days. So how many days I'm here? So for a period of 168 days I was in India. So I've satisfied this part. Half of the basic condition is satisfied. Second part what we have here, and a person should stay in India for 365 days in 4 preceding previous year. Now, when I left India for the first time on 10th April 2020. So now, 2022-23, I was in India only. 2021-22, I was in India only. In the year 2020-21, from April to March, I was not in India. That is nothing but in the month of April, I was in India for 9 days. In the month of March, I was in India for 22 days. Means 31 days I was in India during 2020-21. So now, so how many days I was in 2020-21? I was for a period of 31 days. 2019-20, it is a leap year to 366. So 5, 10, 17, 7, 1 carry, 18, 19, 22, 2 carry, 3, 6, 9, 11. How many days I was in India? 1127. What is the condition? In 4 preceding previous year, if I'm there for 365 days, that's enough. But I'm more than that one. So I've satisfied my second part of my basic condition. So automatically, when I satisfy one basic condition, so they're going to call me as a resident. So satisfied the year basic condition. Now, whether I'm an ordinary resident, not ordinary resident, we have to verify here. Now, in 7 preceding previous year, I should stay in India for a period of 730 days. What they're saying? I should be in India for 730 days out of total 7 years. Out of total 7 years. Now, 2022-23, I was in India. 21-22, I was in India. 2021, I was in India for 31 days. 2019-20, I was in India. 18-19, I was in India. 17-18, I was in India. 16-17, I was in India. So 5, 10, 15, 21, 22, 32. 2, 3 carry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 42, 4 carry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 18, 22. So now I was in India for 2,222 days. So what is the condition? I should be here for 730 days. So I've satisfied my first additional condition. First addition. If I am there for 365 days, they're going to call my residential status as a resident. In 2020-21, my status was non-resident, resident. How we got resident means here? If I'm there for 182 days or more during previous year, so I've satisfied my first basic condition, so they're going to call me a resident. If I couldn't satisfy both the basic condition, automatically they're going to call me as a non-resident. Now, first one is over. Second one, I should be a resident for 2 years out of 10 preceding previous year. So now, they're saying that one, whether I'm going to satisfy the condition or not. Yeah. I was in India for 365 days. So I've satisfied my first basic condition and second basic condition. So my status will be resident. So here 2021-22, I was in India for 365 days. So I've satisfied. They're going to call me a resident. So I was for a period of 31 days. I couldn't satisfy both the basic condition. So therefore my status will be non-resident. 2019-20, it is a leap year. 3,366 days. So I was in India, satisfied. They're going to call me resident. And here, 365 days, I was satisfied, resident. 365, satisfied, resident. 365, satisfied, resident. 366, satisfied, I'm a resident. 365, satisfied, resident. 365, satisfied, resident. So now, what is the condition? I should be 2 years resident out of 10 years, but I'm here for 9 years resident. So I've satisfied my second additional condition also. But now, what was my first basic condition? I should stay in India for 180 days, but I stayed here for 168 days, so I couldn't satisfy my first basic condition. But I should be there for 60 days during previous year. I've satisfied 365 days. I've satisfied. Second basic condition was satisfied here. Additional condition, first one, 730 days. I've satisfied. 2 years resident out of 10 years, I've satisfied. Therefore, my residential status will be resident, ordinarily resident. Ordinarily resident means when I satisfy one basic condition and two additional condition, automatically my status will be resident, ordinary resident. If I satisfy one basic condition and one additional condition, automatically my status will be resident, not ordinarily resident. Let us consider one more problem. I'm Mr. Abhishek here. I left India for the first time on 19th September 2020 and returned back on 10th February 2021. Means in 2020-21, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So when I left India on 19th September, means April I was in India, May, June, July, August. September when I left 19th, means in the month of September, 18 days I was in India. When I returned back, 10th February. So this October I was not there, November, December, January. February when I returned back on 10th, means here, so I was in India for 19 days. And March 31. So total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 150, 160, 171 days and 30, 40, 50. So totally 171 plus 50. So 112, 221 days I was in India during 2020-21. And again I left India on 29th September 2023 and returned back on 25th December 2023. So during previous year, I left India 29th September, returned back on 25th December. Now, I'm Mr. Abhishek. Mr. Abhishek. What is our previous year? Previous year is 2023-24. My assessment year is 24-25. Next. Date of leaving India for the first time. When I left, 19th September 2020. Date of returning back was 10th February 2021. Again, during previous year, I left on 29th September 2023, returned back on 25th December 2023. This is the information. We have to write it. Then we have to determine. Now, let us consider for the first one during previous year. Which is our previous year? 2023-24. When I left India on 29th September. Means in the month of April, I was in India. May, I was in India. June, I was in India. July, I was in India. August, I was in India. September 29th, I left. Means 28 days I was in India. October, I was not there. November, I was not there. December 25th, when I'm returning back, December 25th means 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So I was in India for 7 days. January, I was in India. February, I was in India. March, I was in India. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 170, 181 days. 181 days. 30, 50, 80, 90, 98 days. So 7, 7, 2. So I was in India for 277 days during my previous year 2023-24. What is my condition here? In 2023-24, we had 366 days. Out of 366 days, I was in India for 277. So I've satisfied my first basic condition. So what is my second basic condition? I should be for 60 days during previous year. I've stayed here for 277. So I've satisfied my first half of the basic condition. What is my second half of the basic condition? I should be for 365 days in 4 preceding previous year. 22-23, I was in India. 21-22, I was in India. 2021, how many days I was? 221 days. So in 2020-21, 221 days I was in India. 19-20, 366. Means 10, 17, 7, 1 carry, 9, 15, 21, 1, 2 carry, 5, 10, 13. How many days I was in India? Totally 1,317 days. I should be here only for 365. So I've satisfied my second basic condition also. When I satisfy basic condition, they're going to call me as a resident. Now, whether I'm an ordinary resident, not ordinary resident, we have to determine. What is my first additional condition we have here? In 7 preceding previous year, I have to stay for a period of 730 days. During 22-23, I was in India 365 days. 21-22, I was in India. 2021, I was in India for 221 days. 19-20, I was in India. 18-19, I was in India. 17-18, I was in India. 16-17, I was in India. 10, 15, 21, 22, 32. 2, 3 carry. 15, 21, 27, 29, 35, 35 plus 6, 41, 1, 4 carry. 7, 10, 16, 18, 24. So 2,412 days I was in India in 7 preceding previous year. The condition is 730 days. So I've satisfied my first additional condition. What is my second additional condition? I have to be for resident for 2 years out of 10 preceding previous year. 2022-23, I was in India for 365 days. So I satisfied, my residence status will be R. 21-22, I was in India for 365 days. Satisfied, I'm a resident. In 2020-21, I was 221 days. I've satisfied both the basic condition. So automatically my status will be a resident. 2019-20, 366 days. I've satisfied, resident. 18-19, 365 days. I've satisfied, I'm a resident. 17-18, 365 days. Satisfied, resident. 16-17, 365 days. I was in India. Satisfied, resident. 15-16, 366 days. Satisfied, resident. 365, satisfied, resident. 13-14, 365 days. Satisfied, resident. So I'm resident for 10 years. What is the condition? I should be for 2 years. So I've satisfied my second additional condition also. First basic condition, I should be there for 182 days. So I'm here for 277 days. So I've satisfied my first basic condition. So 60 days, I'm more than that one. I've satisfied that one. And 365 days, I've satisfied even my second basic condition. First additional condition, I've satisfied. Second additional condition, I've satisfied. Means both basic condition and both additional condition has been satisfied. Both the basic condition and both the additional condition has been satisfied. Therefore, my status will be resident, ordinarily resident for previous year 23-24. So if I satisfy both the basic condition and both the additional condition, my status will be resident, ordinarily resident. In the upcoming session, we are going to consider other problems where we may call as resident, not ordinary resident. Thank you to 5th Sem BBA students. In today's session, we came to know that one, how to determine resident status of a person. If is a resident, whether is a ordinarily or not ordinarily. We came to learn and we understood the entire concept of how to determine status of a person when he is a resident, whether he is ordinarily or not ordinarily. Thank you again for all our BBA students.